Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you in part by Story Bleich Roofing. We've got you covered. Metal, slate, tile, asphalt, and shingle. We're locals you can trust. A Story Bleich Roofing, right here in Pensacola, Florida. I'm Thomas Faddish, alongside two other Short Track guys in the studio, as always. Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07 Can'tQuitFishing.com Sportsman and 2021 Sportsman Champion, and Ted Baber of Ted Baber Video Productions. What's up, guys?
Greetings. How y'all doing?
What's up, folks?
Well, you know, it's another Wednesday in the studio, and all I can say is we're going to start it off with 16 days.
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that. I'm going to give it a little rundown for tonight's show. 16 days until the big one, the 56th Annual Snowball Derby. We've got some updates on some entries as of late. We do want to remind everybody on the 17th and 18th about the big news coming up. We're going to run that down again with the Snowball Derby pageant downtown Pensacola and the Snowball Derby preview with a practice and some racing going on that day on the 18th. And we're going to start with the 28th of November. It's actually a Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is actually Snowball Week.
Right.
We're going to go Tuesdays starting off when we get back to it and do the welcome party on the beach somewhere, and we'll let you know where that's going to be and give you all the details of what we got. Latest news on some big racing this weekend. We touched on it last Wednesday, the All-American 400 in Nashville. Everybody, especially two guys, chasing that guitar.
Yes.
We've got a topic, in our opinion here. We're going to ask ourselves, what is the future of short track racing? Ted's got some big news on that coming up here just in a bit. The 21st Annual North-South Shootout at Caraway in Sophia, North Carolina, the entry list. We're going to have that coming up. Guys like Matt Hirschman and, Burt Myers. Guys like that and more of the ground pounders there at Caraway Speedway this weekend. Enduro entries are open at Southern Raceway. Looks like they're going to allow 70 cars. So you can go to Southern Raceway. That's a 3/8 mile dirt track here, just about 20 or 30 minutes east of us. They put on a lot of good shows out there, and they've got entries for the Enduros coming out. I think it's 2,000 to win, 1,000 per second, and 750 per third. 70 Enduro cars on a 3/8 mile dirt track.
That's going to be highly entertaining.
That's going to be on the 11th of November. We'll keep up a little bit more next week, see what's going on, if there's more room.
Yeah.
But 70 cars on that track, so it might as well be just touching all the way around.
Speaking of damn this traffic jam, they're going to be nose to tail from one end to the other and beating and banging. And I went to the one they had last year, and it was fun. It's fun to watch, but being in one of those races, especially if you got a two-seater car, I would love to ride with somebody. Anybody out there got an Enduro car, they got a two-seater, and they need somebody to ride along with them. Hell, I'd be over slapping the driver, go faster, come on, let's go.
A little right side weight there,
Oh, yeah, I would drag the right side.
Yep, and Story Bleich Roofing, they just posted November 4th at Montgomery Motor Speedway. Looks like they're going to get a group up there to run their first race up there in Montgomery. So, get up with Marcus Story and that Story Bleich Roofing Crown Stock class. And maybe make a group of it out there and get to Montgomery and bring a trophy home from that track in Alabama. We're going to have a shout out to some guys that we've had on our podcast here before, going for championships. Brandon Finger, John Hunter Nemechek, and Christian Rose. We're going to have a little talk about that coming up. And we're going to end up the episode with the Crown Stock Driver of the Week, Story Bleich Roofing Crown Stock Driver of the Week. We'll let you know who that is in just a quick 16 days, guys, for the big one.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. We love the Derby.
Yeah.
Looking at this cool weather we started getting, it may be a true snowball derby. You never know.
Yeah, it might be. It's going to change a little bit. They do all their practicing during the day, and, they, for the most part, recently, they've been able to get the entire race in during the day, but occasionally it can go on into the night, and that track will change a little bit between.
Oh, I've run out there and got out of my dang race car and had to tape the grill almost completely shut to get temperature in the motor and didn't sweat. I ran a 25-lap B-main, the 100-lap feature, and didn't have any sweat in my hair because it was so cold.
It gets ridiculous sometimes.
Oh, it does. But, hey, it's the Snowball Derby.
Yep.
The name.
And we got some entries that have now shown up. Ryan Moore, Caden, and Carson Quapple are now listed as Snowball Derby entries. Augie Grill, Boston Oliver, and Brett Suggs are the latest Snowflake entries. Andrick Demiuga, Ryan Priest, Derek Kraus, Snowball Derby entries, Hunter Robbins, Colin Allman, and Ed Vecchiarelli, Snowflake entries, and they just keep coming by the handfuls.
You know, and Augie Grill's car is beautiful.
Oh, if you haven't seen that, yes, I agree with you, Ted.
Oh, the one he's running All American 400, yeah, it's gorgeous. Of course, Augie's never known to bring a pile of junk to a racetrack at all. That's the man's reputation on the line. That's what he does is build race cars.
That's right.
Yeah, it really all starts on the 17th, and we just do a reminder out with the Miss Snowball Derby pageant downtown Seville Quarter in historic Pensacola. The 18th, the next day, the Snowball Derby preview with all the practice and the race for the Story Bleich Roofing Crown Stocks, a 40-lap showcase, really. That's going to be and it is free for everybody to go out and watch. So you can get to practice, watch a little bit of racing, too.
Right.
Sounds like a winner. And one of the Muffler Mafia, Daryl McDonald Jr.'s daughter has entered the Miss Snowball Derby pageant.
Oh,
so
cool.
There's going to be a lot of beautiful ladies going for that. Come down to Seville and watch and cheer on your favorite girl and see who's going to get to stand next to us ugly race car drivers after the races. So they do make us look better, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they grace the entire winner's circle.
Oh, amen to that. Yeah, but they're very nice people. I tell you, the last few we've had, last 3 or 4 we've had, have been very, very nice ladies and very gracious, and you know we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, and although that does start the week officially, it's really the 20th of November on Tuesday, the welcome party at Hooters on Pensacola Beach. That's always a big time, too, to open up that week.
Oh, yeah, it's a blast. Go out there and they go around and interview a bunch of late model drivers. Last year it wasn't quite as crowded as it was in years past.
No.
You just hope the weather pays attention to.
It was beautiful weather. It wasn't very cold at all. We sat outside that night.
Yeah, we did. It was good.
Yeah,
It was nice.
wasn't bad.
Right there on the water.
Yeah,
really
so
nice.
got to see some Hooters at Hooters. It wasn't a bad situation.
Not bad.
It's not a bad deal.
No, not a bad deal at all. No.
Then Wednesday, it's the old infamous Now Hear This rig parking and the Green Flag Party that Wednesday night with music and chili for charity. The whole day, man. It starts at 9 o'clock where they all bring the rigs in and start parking, and then have a big time Wednesday.
The logistical nightmare getting all those rigs in here. Process.
Yeah, that is. But I'm hoping that this year they'll fix, because they were talking about it, they'll fix the problem with guys that park down turn 1, jumping ahead of everybody and going out to practice.
Right.
There was a lot of late model guys complaining about that. I talked to Tim about it, and he said they were making some changes for that. So
hopefully it'll all work out. That is a lot of people just don't understand how much work it is to get this thing together, but it's huge.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and it starts right after it's over. For the next year, believe it or not. I mean, it goes from camping to ticket sales to
RV spaces.
I mean, yeah, you name it. That's where it starts, and it's hard to get in, but it's easier getting out, I believe, after it's over.
I mean, park it if you don't want to, you can't want to park on the side of the road ever. Park at the fairgrounds. Ride a shuttle. You can pile into a shuttle. You haul butt back to the fairgrounds, drop you off. You're gone in minutes. Or there's several other parking options around there. People have yards you can park in, which I usually pay to park in somebody's yard. Right. It works out really well. You walk to the track, you're done at the end of the night, you walk down, get in your car, and go home.
Yep. And then Thursday, practice opens up and racing for the Pro Truck Sportsman and Pure Stocks, and we happen to have a Sportsman champion sitting here in our studio and see what he's got going on for practice and getting ready for that Thursday night showdown.
Well, we hung some body parts. I've done some work on the chassis. I found another issue the other night. I had a bushing that would come out of place in the rear end, so I'm going to take it over to Ben Cranford's. We're going to put it on the lift. We're going to fix that. Got a couple of little tricks up my sleeve. Hopefully we can find some speed.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah, wink, wink, nod, nod, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more. But we're going to be ready to rock, and we're going to go have some fun, man. I've been taking it serious, and I should take it serious, and I want to win. I do. But you know what? I'm tired of not having fun. It's time to go have some fun. We do great. If we win, awesome. Run podium, awesome. If we run 10th, we race the whole race, brought the car home one piece. We'll take it apart and make it better for next year.
I just want to have 1 year when you don't get something torn off the car.
I know it. Isn't that awful? Last couple of years have been rough. I got dumped last year. I mean, I got flat smoked last year.
Yeah.
But hey, man, you guys, I never did say this, but you guys did an awesome job getting me back out there. And if the right rear wasn't rubbing the sheet metal, we would have finished. I mean, we were still pretty fast. We weren't slow, but
I'm so glad I got that extra roll of duct tape.
yeah, that and the exhaust dragging the whole 9 yards. That was funny. They come in and said, "You need to fix that exhaust." So we wrapped Ben wrapped duct tape around the exhaust and wrapped around the roll cage. And we went back out. It lasted about 2 laps and it was back on the ground. But hey, you guys worked your butt off, and I appreciate it.
We're just trying to get you out there. And
With 5 to go, though, she got real loose because that right rear was going flat. I was like, dang it. We were actually catching a couple of cars. So it's fun, man. I just want to have some fun this year. And like you said, man, drive it back on a trailer.
yes, one piece.
Well, you preach having fun all the time, so let's just put the seriousness all aside, go out and do your best, and hopefully you get that Sportsman Trophy win Thursday night.
One. If I win the Derby, I'm liable to go, you know what, I'm done. Be out, just drop the mic and walk away.
Then we go to Friday, the super late model qualifying night, probably the most heated and most frustrating and most tense-filled night in short track racing.
Yes, absolutely. I have gotten many shots of guys that some of them just come in one end and go out the other. When you get down to like 30 cars qualified, some people are already on the bubble when they get there, after they qualify, so they just don't even get a chance to stop. You always get that whenever something happens to somebody, they know they were on the bubble and the bubble gets bursted.
Well, when you consider last year, it was 0.2 of a second from the pole all the way back to the last car that actually qualified.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's nothing. And these guys are just that good. I mean, you're talking about the best late model drivers in the country.
Yes.
At this race. This is the biggest. I don't care what anybody says. It's the most prestigious short track event that you can race at. And that's it. I'm sorry. It's the one.
Right. It's the one everybody wants to win.
That's it.
Yep, the super late model qualifying night and the Crown Stock 25 is going to be that Friday night, too. That's what they've got listed on the website. So, man, you've got more Crown Stock racing, too, and they just can't get enough of it. Saturday night, last chance races during the day, Snowplate 100 and the Outlaw 50. Well, hold on just a second. I just skipped over the Modified the Mayhem Friday night, too. So those Modifieds are our ground pounders. Yeah. Not really the ground pounders, but they do pound the ground. So,
oh, yes.
They'll be Friday night.
That's
with
their championship
qualifying
race, too. So that's going to determine the champion of that division that night.
And I wonder who that's going to be.
Jeez, I can't imagine.
The 46 car, maybe. The guy that didn't. I mean, I don't look to him to dominate the Derby unless he breaks something. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, there's last chance races on Saturday, the Snowplate 100, that's the Pro Late Model 100, and then the Outlaw 50, and then Sunday, the 56th Annual Snowball Derby, when everybody's in. I believe they'll probably start 36 or maybe 37 with a Champions Provisional.
Right.
They'll get started with the drivers into at 1, and they usually drop the green flag somewhere around 2 o'clock. So hopefully, I would like to one day they'd have a Blue Angel flyover for the Snowball Derby. That would be so cool.
Oh, that would be bad to the bone.
Yeah, like giving all this money away to other foreign countries, why not put up a little fuel money to have the Blue Angels fly over?
You ain't kidding. That's a great idea, Thomas. I like that. That would be. You imagine them doing about a 700-mile-per-hour pass right over the racetrack.
And those last chance races, you talk about the ultimate example of bump and run. Mm-hmm. Holy cow!
You do not want to be fourth.
No.
Going into turn 3 on the last lap with somebody up your tailpipe because guess what's going to happen?
Boink.
You're going to get, or at least you're going to try to get moved.
Yep, that's it. And I have seen it happen many times. And it gets rough sometimes.
Oh, believe me, I would put a bumper to somebody to make the big show. Oops, sorry, you're going home. Bye-bye.
And just it doesn't matter if you start last. A lot of people have started last and finished first that race.
Charlie Bradbury.
Yep, one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys that are going to be in that race are going to be going at it this weekend with the All-American 400 in Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
Fairgrounds.
Not the Super Speedway. Sorry, there's a difference in tracks there.
Definitely.
But All-American 400 with Ty Majeski and Cole Butcher, they're going to be 2 stars here for the Snowball Derby. They're going to go at it, and we've got more entries in that coming up this weekend.
About 33 more, as a matter of fact. Let's run the list, don't we? Starting with Michael House. There's a few names here that I haven't heard of, so we're just going to, I would love to spend a little bit more time on each one, but man, this is an incredible list. William Sawalich, of course, the Minnesota Missile, as we know him. Luke Fenhouse, Johnny Sauter, Ty Fredrickson. We know where he comes from, his lineage, so he'll be a stout competitor. Jackson Boone, Derek Thorne, Ridge Owen. Now that's somebody I've not. Olin, sorry, from Bloomington, Minnesota. Austin Nason, Gabe Summers, Jordan Riddick, Chase Berta, Gio Ruggiero, Billy Van Meter, Willie Allen driving his own Rackley War Shocks car this coming weekend. Our man Bubba Pollard, obviously, Cole Butcher, T.J. Duke, Hunter Wright, Dustin Smith, Albert Francis, Jake Garcia, Jeremy Doss from Upper Lake, California, Tommy Joe Marlins from Davidson, North Carolina, Alan Carnes, Stephen Nassy, Gio's new best friend, Jake Finch, Matthew Craig, Johnny Aramandia, Logan Bearden, Michael Hind, Johnny Brazier from Hazel Green, Alabama, and Jacob Good, the Timinator, Ty Majeski, and Josh Hicks, rounding up the 36 that entered so far.
You mean he's not from Lick Skillet, Alabama anymore?
Yeah, that's what I was highly disappointed.
Oh, he must have moved.
He must have. That's the ultimate hometown right there.
Oh, man, I've been to the All-American 400. Let me tell you something. That is an incredible race to go to.
I'd love to. That's on my, dumpster list or however big it is right now.
We have to make a plan next year and ride up there.
Yeah.
I think it's a landfill list now.
Yeah, probably so.
Oh, boy.
So...
Yeah, but all this talk about short track racing, with the Snowball Derby and the All-American 400, the Winchester, and all these big short track late model races, or even sprint cars. What is the future of short track racing?
Well, that's the question I've had for a moment or two. Is the baseball has the minor leagues, NFL, NBA, they have college teams. Where do the future stars of NASCAR come from? And what are the big dogs in NASCAR doing about maintaining the short tracks? That's my concern. I would think that they want to get involved in that and try to keep these short tracks open so they have a future field of stars and drivers to pick from.
Right.
Yeah, but you've got also guys that are driving that are coming from iRacing. You've got sprint car racing, which, Kyle Larson just bought Tony Stewart's All-Star Series. So you got him and several other drivers that come from sprint car. You got lots of teams investing in late model teams to get people up and running. Look how many people come from the Snowball Derby. We were going to talk about that. Christopher Bell, John Hunter Nemechek, Christian Neckes, Chase Elliott. All these guys have either won or run competitively. Willie Byron.
Yeah.
There's two of them from the race down here that are in it for the Cup, 2 for the Truck Series, and 2 more for the Xfinity Series.
Yeah.
So we do have a lot of feeder series. The biggest problem we're going to have is short tracks closing.
Right,
and
that's the point.
But NASCAR has, NASCAR short tracks.
Yeah.
But the track has to be willing to run all the NASCAR rules and all that other stuff, and it's expensive. The track pays for that. NASCAR doesn't come in and go, here's all this money. You got to pay NASCAR a nice big fat chunk, and then they get some sponsorship to come help you.
Well, maybe they should look at trying to help the tracks out so they have some place to draw from.
I get you, but it's they're already talking about making NASCAR race cars hybrid, and the second they go to that electric crap, I'll never watch another lap. I'll be done with it forever because I'm not watching.
Swish.
I want to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thrill. The loud motors. That's why we have an engine sound on the beginning of this podcast, baby, because we want to hear the noise. Bring in the noise. Bring in the funk. Let's do it. Yep. But it's gotten to the point where it's messing up, and I don't like where I see short track. Look where our track is. It's right in the middle of housing projects. There's property all around it, but people want to buy it to build houses. They don't give a dead gum about a racetrack. Real estate developers could give 2 craps about a racetrack.
Exactly. They're in it for the money, period. That's all there is to it.
There's rumors going around Southern Raceway won't be open next year and the property's going to be sold.
Oh, boy.
You don't want to see it, but, there and again, it goes back to, and you look up in the grandstands and they're empty.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because if the promoter could make money on a regular show, but see, that doesn't make sense either because Rockford, Illinois, their grandstands are full every Friday night they had a race, and they close that because the property's worth more than what keeping the racetrack open.
Yeah, it's a sad situation, there's no doubt.
and getting people to run the racetrack, getting young people interested in actually being promoters and running the races and doing all the hard work. Like our generation, there's guys on the racetracks that are my age that would started out handing out popcorn, then they painted the grandstands, and then they painted the walls, and they did this, and they did that, and they worked their way up, and the next thing you know, they're promoters.
Right. Yeah.
And they're willing to put the work in. Tim Bryant, I call him cheap for doing it, but hey, he gets out there and cuts his own grass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he does a lot of stuff that he could pay somebody to do, but he'd rather do it. That just shows, wants to keep the racetrack open. But like I said, I do worry that property of Five Flags will be worth more than what the racetrack's worth, and they want to get out and sell it for home builders, and we lose out.
It'll be gone.
Yeah, so I don't know what the answer with NASCAR is. NASCAR's too busy making TV money and everything else. They bought out ARCA and they've ruined it. I mean, honestly, it has. ARCA Series used to be something awesome to watch. Now it's, if you're not with Venturini or with AM or one of the big names, you just don't run up front.
No.
So I don't know what the answer is, but we need to figure something out.
And soon.
Yeah,
because it's all gone.
Yeah, with these tracks all closed, there's nowhere to race. None of these kids are going to get interested.
Well, you can just tell everybody to get out of the house on a weekend and go support your local short track.
Well, you try.
Well, we do, and that's what we're here for. But the other thing I didn't think of was Legends cars. They race them in Charlotte and in Atlanta and places like that. Those are feeder series, into Cup and things like that. They see a lot of these young kids drive one of those very fast, or a Bandolero or something like that. But I don't know what the answer would be. But my answer is keep the dang racetracks, keep them open, and don't make subdivisions out of them.
No, let's keep the sport alive as long as we can.
Amen to that.
Well, we got hope in short track racing now that nothing comes our way, and even west of us, in Mobile. Hope what Eddie's done over there, that Five Flags in Mobile and South Alabama and Montgomery and all those tracks, and they can stay alive, and everybody keeps going out and supporting, and the guys keep finding a way to put their cars together and race and have fun and not get too serious about it. And then that's part of it, and make it affordable. I see a lot of these local classes that are developing that try to keep it down, and the costs are minimal, and have fun. Yeah, and that keeps it alive.
That's a big issue, is the cost of racing. It's just ridiculous now, so that's something else that's going to be addressed very quickly.
Amen to that soon.
Yeah, and one of the drivers that we could ask is our Crown Stock Driver of the Week, Heath Ewell, driver of the 850 here locally in Pensacola. And Jim has some more information on him being out the racetrack quite often in the sportsman division with these Crown Stocks. And Heath has been elected from the three of us with the Story Bleich Roofing Crown Stock Driver of the Week.
Well, he's from Pensacola, native, 38 years old, spends most of his life as a welder for his trade, but his passion's always been racing. He grew up a spectator watching the races, and when the Crown Stock class got started, Mr. Marcus Story asked him if he wanted to get involved, so he came over and started helping Marcus put roll cages in these Crown Vics. Well, when he did that, Marcus gave him a Crown Vic, and he's using... started being instrumental in the development of the class. I mean, he actually helped build a lot of the cars that are out there. And he started driving. He drives the 850 car, which I love the number. Yes. our area code 850. That's great. That's a pretty cool deal. He started driving, and he's building cages, and they used the cage kit from a company. I'm trying to find it here. I just had it. Anyway, he started building roll cages. He used their cage as a template and started building cars for other people. But he's out there racing. He's run top 4 in Mobile. Had some okay finishes at Five Flags, still learning. But, I mean, it's cool to see that type of person come out, get started learning, working on them first, climbing behind the wheel and having fun. And every time he goes out, he says he learns more and more every time and gets better and better. And you do. You got to have seat time. There's no anything you can do for that. No, absolutely not. But he's absorbed a lot from this class, and his learning curve's getting better and better, and he looks forward to next season. And he's going to probably run some other racetracks. I'm sure he'll probably be in Mobile. Who knows? He might go to Montgomery and run. But Heath, we appreciate what you do for the class, for building some of those cars. Keep up the good work. Keep driving fast. And that is our Story Bleich Crown Vic Driver of the Week.
Well, being a welder is really instrumental.
Oh, yeah. If you can weld good, trust me, you see which parts of my car I welded on. That's why I don't weld on my main cage, because I don't let the good people do that. I can put metal together, but it ain't pretty.
Nope. As long as it stays together long enough to get the car from one end to the other.
Yeah, nice job, 850.
Yep.
That's right. I love the number, man.
And it's a big number, too. You can see that thing from all the way across on the other side of the racetrack.
Oh, yeah, that's cool, though, man. I like a big number. You know me. I want everybody knowing I'm going in the backstretch who that car is.
Yeah, and speaking of the shout-outs, how about some shout-outs of maybe some familiar names that we've had in and out of the studio?
We got a couple of names.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, Grant Enfinger going for that truck championship.
Oh, yeah.
We had him on here. He's a great guy. I don't know what he's doing next year. I know he's got a deal signed. He'll announce it, I'm sure, when he's ready. But he's driving the last race for GMS Racing, going for that championship. And Denny Hamlin picked him this week on his podcast, Actions Detrimental. He picked him to win the championship. Door Bumper Clear didn't even mention him, which I hope he wins it, because when they do, I'm going to call into their. They have a number you can call and leave a message, and I'm gonna call and leave them knuckleheads a message. Don't mention my boy Grant from Fairhope, Alabama. Go get him, Grant.
Oh, by the way, champion right here, this guy.
Yeah.
Rub it in your face.
And then we got John Hunter Nemechek, Snowball Derby winner.
Yep.
Who's going for the Xfinity Series championship.
Yeah.
That's going to be big. And in the Cup Series, we have our very own Christopher Bell, who ran a lot of snowball derbies. He won one, but he got thrown out. I remember, I know he won a derby, but he got tossed. It was one of the years that Eric Jones ended up winning.
Yeah.
Because Christopher Bell got tossed. Driving for Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch's cars got tossed twice, but that's awesome, man. And Willie B.
William Byron.
William Byron. He's run a lot of races at Five Flag Speedway. Yeah. And also this weekend, our boy Christian Rose, who's been on our podcast 4 times recently in the last month, who has finished 3rd in the ARCA points, is going to be driving a truck for AM Racing, his 2nd time in a Craftsman Truck Series race. Good luck to him this weekend. Finish all the laps, dude. Bring her home in one piece, and I would love to see you get a top 10, if not a top 5. And go Grant Enfinger. Fear the finger, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
I will be glued to the TV set tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of exciting things coming up here in the weekend and weeks ahead. I can't wait to go next Wednesday and get to see who takes that guitar home at Nashville. At the All-American 400 is going to be good between Ty Majeski and Cole Butcher, battling it out with 8-point separation. Ooh.
Of course, in that one.
Tight one.
Go Bubba Pollard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got to put the 26 up there.
That's right.
Well, guys, that's going to be a wrap on a Wednesday, episode 11 here in Season 3 Short Track Guys podcast. It's always a pleasure to get together with you and talk short track racing once a week, pending health issues and electrical, computer issues. You know, we've got all of it going on, and I hope a lot of it somehow works out. And,
it does.
It's all fun and games. Until something gets broken and everybody takes their ball and goes home.
That's right.
So until next week, thanks to listeners. Thank you for your support. T-shirts and hats, merchandise available will be visible out on the 18th of November.
Yes. 18th.
18th of November in the preview. And
1, 2, 3. Let's go, Brandon. Good night, everybody.
Be strong, America.
Thanks for listening.